Hi, my name is Miguel.
I'm Adrianna.
We're from Camarillo, California.
We've been married for 3 years and we have a 2-year-old daughter.
And in January of 2013, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I noticed there was some growth on the side of my neck, and then it eventually became like a mass on the lower left side of my neck. And so I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma, and the oncologist recommended 6 cycles of chemotherapy. And after 2 cycles of chemo and doing the pH miracle diet, the follow-up CT scan came back clean.
We want to talk about the first, times he couldn't really even tolerate sleeping. He would have to sleep on the couch for a couple of weeks. It was really uncomfortable for him because he had such a mass on his neck that it would hurt him just to lie back. And so he would complain a lot about that. When he first started telling me that he noticed that it was reducing, we got really excited because he had it for maybe 2 months, and it had been bothering him because it started here with 2 little bumps under his ear, and then it just kind of became a mass right under his kind of like by your collarbone, right? Mm-hmm. And so that started growing, and when he got the needle biopsy, it wouldn't stop oozing right after. So it kept oozing for a while. He had a gauze on for some time, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he just noticed like 2 other oozings on the side. So we thought it was maybe part of the needle biopsy that had been bad. But after we did start the pH miracle, he noticed that after a few weeks, he started noticing it was closing up and it wasn't oozing as much. That's when we got excited and say, hey, something's working here. Our diet's helping us out. You were doing the
juices in the morning, salads for lunch, and soups for dinner, and the alkaline water and the 4 salt powder.
And I started joining him because I wanted him to feel motivated, and I wanted to give him the support. I didn't want him to see me eating all the other, good food and him feeling unmotivated to continue the diet. So we started juicing. At first, we were only juicing. We were trying to do as much juicing as possible. A lot of people would ask us, well, how do you go throughout the whole day with just juices? And they said, well, we add a little bit of hemp protein in it. We do add some chlorophyll for his blood to increase. And we had some avocados, a lot of avocados, which would help us to feel a little more satisfied. But I've lost actually a little over 20 pounds just by doing this diet. People ask me, how did you lose weight so fast? And I said, well, I can recommend you the book and read the book, pH Miracle. But really, it's just juicing and changing into a vegan diet. That's what we've been doing. And it takes time for you to accustom to the diet, because first you'll crave the meats, you'll crave the chicken. You'll see people eating bread and it looks delicious. But now we're doing, if we do something, it's got to be gluten-free. If we do any kind of other stuff, it's all vegan products. So we're starting to transition our 2-year-old daughter, slowly into it as well. Just yesterday I told Miguel that I was having the 4 salts, the water. And my daughter says, I want some, Mommy. And I said, oh, you're not going to like it. And she says, I want some. So I gave her some to try. And at first she made a little face. She says, oh, I like it. It's good. I said, okay, you want some more? She says, yeah, I'll take some more. And so every time I have a juice, I'll give her some in her sippy cup. And she drinks it. She says, this is good, Mom. I mean, I don't have a picky daughter, so it's not that hard. She'll eat, she loves veggies. But it's surprising to me that we can start incorporating this diet already, even since they're young, especially with all the problems we have, nowadays with our children having diabetes and, being overweight. I don't want her to get there before that time.
So what else would you share with folks out there about you? I know that on the program you lost quite a bit of weight too.
I was 207 pounds when I was diagnosed in January, and I weigh 172 pounds today, so I've lost almost 40 pounds without trying.
I know I couldn't get him to work out before, and so I said, "Hey, we have to start working out. We have to start losing weight." And it was just so hard to actually get him to start, a routine with me. And this is the fastest we've ever lost weight, and we're just now starting to start, working out a little bit more. We go bike riding, we'll do our walks. But now that he's actually more positive, because we've noticed that, his scan came out clear, now he's, more motivated about it, and he feels like, okay, well, we can start the workout now, and feels more motivated about it, right?
Right.
So overall, health-wise, how do you feel?
I feel great. I mean, I never believed that I had cancer. Even when I was doing the chemo, I had the energy to go bike riding after the treatments, or to take my daughter out to the park, or
family would call me and say, "How's Miguel doing?" And I said, "Oh, he looks great, and he's doing great. He hasn't complained at all. And it's the biggest cancer, isn't he?" Like, look, usually they think that he'd be in bed, or he wouldn't have energy to do anything. And I said, he's feeling great. I don't know what to tell you. He hasn't complained about anything. He says he feels energetic.
I was prescribed Zofran for nausea, and I never once took it. Nausea was never a big thing. I would always just have like a cold glass of water, and it would go away. We were doing the sodium bicarbonate IVs on the days of the treatment to offset the side effects, and
That's another thing. He would wake up in the morning after the IV. I noticed that when you got the IV the day that he got the chemotherapy, he'd go the same day. And the next morning, he'd wake up so early, like at 7 in the morning, so energetic, ready to go. And I'm like, it's 6, 7 in the morning, it's Saturday, I do not want to be waking up at this time. But he was just so energetic and ready to, start the day, which was different, because that's something that I noticed, that I said, wow, I can't believe he's a cancer patient and he's getting up this early and, wanting to start his day so early. So that to me was a big hint that this is working, this has got to be working. And just the other patients, when you started your chemo, I went with him, and patients that started at the same time as he did noticed a lot more. I noticed they were a lot more run down, more tired, and they kept commenting to Miguel, "How are you doing so well? Why are you, looking this great?" They just didn't understand, and I believe that it's because of everything else that we've been doing. The diet, the salt water, the IVs, the sodium bicarbonate IVs. Have helped him tremendously, just to offset all the other things from the chemo. Now tell him about the doctor, what they wanted to do the cycles.
So the initial treatment is six cycles or 12 treatments, and after 2 cycles, 4 treatments, we've decided to stop. We're going to continue with the miracle diet and feel that there's no need for any more chemotherapy.
We don't want to have anything else be affected. There's so many other side effects to chemotherapy that it makes us nervous that if he's showing to be clear and cancer free at this moment, we don't want to risk that later he'll have a liver problem or a heart problem, which is one of the biggest side effects of the medicine, of the chemo medicine. So we don't want to have those risks, and rather than risking those side effects, we'd rather go the natural route and do what we've been doing and keep our lifestyle this way. So it's a form of lifestyle. I think it's not like I'm good, okay, now I can go back to the regular habits. It's to me, it's this is what we're going to do from now on. This is how we're going to live.
So is this a program that you would recommend?
Definitely. I have been recommending already. I see random people that I see on Facebook that I hear that have cancer, and I said, hey, here's this book. I recommend you read it. Juice. It's helped my husband. It's helped me. With my Hashimoto's disease, I felt energy that I haven't felt before. I'm not sluggish anymore. So, just by seeing the results in a matter of 2 months, that's more than enough, for us to say, yes, do it. It's definitely motivational. And I want to tell the world about it because it's all in what you eat.
So anything else you would like to share that might help someone out there who's also trying to make a decision about a serious chronic illness like cancer?
Yeah, I think it starts with your diet, and everything can be reversed. You know, you just have to do the green, do the alkaline, raise your body's alkalinity, and everything is reversible.
And that's another last thing. We were checking our pH, with the pH strips, just to check our levels. And we did start a little lower than 7, right? I think, and now that we're checking it, it's right about right. Isn't it about 7 or 7.5 or something like that? So, so that was another big thing that was like, well, we're doing something right here, because it's, you know, the alkalinity level is higher. So, but we would definitely recommend it to any kind of cancer patient or any kind of disease that somebody might have, because why go with the secondary effects when you can go all the natural route and just make it a lifestyle and not have to deal with you know, the secondary side effects from the medication.